Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to Surely Not. And I have this special guest here who I've known only for a semester of my life. Jett Nelson. Is that actually how you say your last name? Nelson?
Yeah,
okay,
Nelson.
Sweet. So, do you want to introduce yourself first and then we'll talk about how we met each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm Jett Nelson and I'm from Esperance. I'm not from Perth, and I moved up at the start of this year for university. And I met Pascal in one of my first units where she was like, when everybody was doing the icebreakers, going around the table, she was like, I really want to start a business one day. And that's like all I know. And that's I was like, that's me.
That's literally me.
So that's like the only thing we have in common, but there you go.
It's not the only thing. I'm sure we have a lot of
but
other things. You're very cocky with yourself, and
yeah, true.
I think we're both. Yes, but I think that's a really good business thing to have.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
but
you're very cocky of yourself now. I've realized that a lot. Your development has changed a lot since the day I've met you, which is really good. I'm not complaining. I actually think, like, genuinely coming from the heart, that you would be very successful.
Thank you. I've really come into my own since moving to Perth, because like everybody just thinks about themselves up here, it seems like. Yeah. So now that I've kind of embraced that, egotistical side of me, it's really helping. Yeah, I think it's a good thing. No, it is a good thing for business though.
It is, because that's how you have to think.
Yeah. You got to think like a winner. You got to not let people put you down, I guess.
Exactly.
Which is
strong mindset.
Could be a shark.
Oh, it's going to be a lot. But like, yeah, because I remember when we first started talking, you opened up to me about some things about your own life. And I was like, wow, he's really sensitive. Yeah. And then after that talk we had with each other, I realized you're like the complete opposite to what I thought. And you were like, oh yeah. And then you were like, so up yourself now. And then you've just got this really strong mindset. And I'm like, wow, this kid's like onto it. He's really getting somewhere. Yeah. So I still think that today. That's why I brought him on here, by the way, because I think he's going to be a lovely person to talk about business, because I feel like none of my friends would know anything about business more than this guy will. So
we'll take that.
Yeah.
First year in uni.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted to hear. No, like, it's interesting because myself, like, my own identity is that I'm quite a sensitive person and like really emotionally involved. I get like really fragile, but then I kind of portray myself as this like extroverted, confident guy.
But you really can.
But I feel like that's equally a part of me as the sensitive side. It's just all me. It's just, it depends like who I'm talking to, like how I act and how I portray myself.
That's true.
I think everybody's like that. That everybody has different faces for different environments.
Yeah, but you're really good when it comes academically. Like you're like not gonna. I hate saying this out loud. You're literal my competition. I hate you for it, because like ever since I found out how much you've changed, I was like, damn, this is how I need to be, and I'm not getting that. So then because you're so good at presenting things, and it's just so good at talking and communication in general. Like when we had that class with each other, you went ham when it comes to something you're so passionate about. You're so good on your feet, which is so good. Yeah. And I can't ever be like that, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to start stressing the hell out of myself. And with you, you're just so calm about it. You're like, oh yeah, guys, this is what's going to go on. This, that, which is actually amazing. Yeah. Props to you. But we wanted to talk about something about this guy as well, because not only is he a business guy, well, I mean,
business tycoon.
Yeah. He is now doing music. Actually, he's been doing it before we've met, but like stopped for a really long time.
I didn't do it properly until...
Your song wasn't that bad though. I actually genuinely pretty much liked it.
No, I've got some kids, because I go to college, some kids came up to me yesterday and were like, we've been listening to your song in the car. I was like, that's the best thing.
That's so
it's really
cute.
Embarrassing though, because I feel like they're mocking me, but I know that's just me like internalizing it.
No, but that's so cute. I love that. Good on you though. But do you want to talk about your song? Then,
Just briefly. So basically, as a uni kid, I'm trying to make more time for it, but I have started music. I'm on Spotify and Apple Music and like all the platforms. I've only got one song out there, Jett, which I'm sure you can there'll be somewhere in the description.
I'll put it somewhere. I seriously will.
But I do have another song coming out in the next 2 weeks, and I haven't written a happy song yet, so I think I'm a very emo
That's
artist.
Very true, because your whole vibe is very emo, depressed
it's like post pop emo. I don't know what genre it would be.
So
a bit
then
of hip
is the
hop.
one that you're doing now happy?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow, you've got
No.
a girlfriend now.
But
Like,
it's
you're living-
no, life's good. No, I am writing that. I just find it easier to write in a negative space of mind because I only write music when I'm sad. When I'm happy, I do stuff. I like build things, and when I'm sad, I write music.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's good. Anyway, yeah, song coming out in the next 2 weeks, and it's I won't spoil the title yet or anything because I'm gonna do like a whole promotional thing where I put an Instagram post because that's the extent of my like social media capabilities.
Oh no, but if you are gonna release it, I'm 100% gonna support. I would just tell
thanks.
everyone, be like, yo,
Yeah.
check this thing out, because I've done it for my friends in the past who are singers. I'm like, hell yeah, listen to this trash. Like,
Well,
it's so good.
yeah,
Well, not trash, but like,
Well, I'm not-
listen
yeah.
to this stuff.
Well, I'm not a great singer or a great guitarist or a great anything or a great songwriter, but I can just kind of do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So that's why I like to make music myself. I really like
It's just too
writing.
good.
That's my favorite thing.
You're just too good.
Anyway,
honestly.
so hopefully sometime in the next year I'm going to have a 5-part EP out, but right now it's just singles here and there. So
Impressive.
yeah, well that's the goal. We'll
That's
see how
cool.
it pans out.
I'm sure it will pan out really
Yeah.
well. You've got it. You've got a good mindset towards it.
Yeah.
Okay, now off to what you wanted to talk about.
I guess just like business aspirations, life aspirations,
Yes.
discipline, all that stuff. Which even you can group the whole music thing into it. It's like I want to make music. I want to put it myself out there, and there's certain steps I need to take to get there.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just easy to live in the status quo of what you're doing. Like especially at uni, it's not like I have a job or anything, or like at least a full-time job. I have money, but you know, the passive income's enough for me to survive off, and I've got uni work that I can just get by, get the grades I need, and I don't have to, you know, reach beyond that. But you should always push yourself to do more and reach your potential, because everybody has potential. Everybody has the capability to be what they want to be. It's just whether you actually do it or not. Like even starting a podcast, like the amount of effort it would take anybody, especially me, to just be like, I want to start a podcast, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to get guests on. Doesn't matter if they're Jett Nelson, who doesn't have much to like offer. At least there's somebody. And then you start building an audience, and it just grows from there.
It does, but
That's anything in life, though. Like if you want to
That's
start a
true.
company, that's the same thing. You'll probably meet
Start from
one
somewhere.
person
yeah.
that's your first employee that you don't pay, and you just make something together, and then there you go.
That's very true. Even though I'm not paying you, but like,
Yeah. Well, you don't pay people to come on a podcast, but
I think
I
you
feel like I
might.
do deserve a guest appearance.
Right,
fee,
he was
as we
like to
discussed
me,
before.
"Oh, your birthday was yesterday. Well, me coming here for free is your birthday gift." And I'm like, wow.
I didn't actually know that, for the record, until today.
How did you not know? You watched my stories pretty often, and it was
I like-
literally screaming on it, like,
This is how I do it with Instagram, though. I click on the stories and I just go through everything, and I don't really like pay attention
But
to
how
it.
did you find out it was my birthday?
I thought it was like somebody else's birthday, and then I like redid it today, and I was like, it was like happy birthday, sis. It's like, oh, that's your birthday.
Yes,
I thought you were
sorry.
saying happy birthday to somebody else.
No, I was
Cut
like,
this all
I said
out. I'm
thank
an idiot.
you. I said thank
Cut this
you,
all out.
sis.
Yeah,
No,
cut this all out.
I'm not gonna cut it out. It's
I know.
okay, so yes, business perspective, that's very good. And you don't know what you want to do.
Well, it's one of those things where I don't know what the company looks like. I don't know what a revenue structure would be. I don't even know what I'm going to build with it. I just know that since a young age, I've always been kind of a natural leader, or at least I like to think myself of that. And working with a team has been challenging for me, but recently I've started to get better at that. Like I did one of these university programs called the Joondalup Innovation Challenge, which is something I talked about to you like a while ago.
Yeah, I got the email for that, and I'm like, the fact that's all the way in Joondalup, and then on top of that, it was when I was working as well, and I was like, I can't do it. You actually went to it. How was it?
Yeah, I did. No, it was really good. No, it was actually really helpful because you got put in a team of, my team was like 5 people and a mentor. And you just try and work with them to make a business plan in 2 weeks for like an issue that the city of Joondalup's trying to solve.
Wow.
And it was like more of a validation for me. It was like, I can work in a team, and not only that, but I am a leader. I do have leadership capabilities because I kind of just naturally took over the group. Like not dictatorship was, but I made sure everybody had input, and the mentor like on our team that was like guiding us was really impressed and everything. And I was like, yeah, well, maybe I'm not like living in my own head here. Maybe I actually I could be a CEO because I'm good at like delegating tasks and organizing stuff.
No, definitely.
But that was really fun. Yeah. So we didn't win, unfortunately.
Really?
No.
Oh.
No.
Then what? Like, who won then?
There was this group called, I don't remember their team name, but they had this idea called Spice Dating. It was like a dating app, but the Joondalup, like the judge panel, found it interesting more because it had potential as like a group outing based app. So you can basically like plan trips on it and stuff.
But then how is that why is that an issue that Joondalup needs to fix?
Well, I guess, our take on it was that Joondalup, the city of Joondalup and Joondalup are two different places. And that's like something that I didn't even know when I started. Like the city of Joondalup's massive and the Joondalup's just a little suburb. And people don't know that there's actually a bunch of stuff to do in the city of Joondalup. Anyway, so that was like the key task we were trying to solve. That was the key problem. Was like there's a lot to do in Joondalup, or is there not? And because we focused on tourism, and we were like, okay, well, let's try and make some sort of cool tourism app, because the website's boring and TripAdvisor is not very helpful. There's like nothing to. It's a problem with all of Perth, really. But anyway, we didn't win, unfortunately. But we got to meet the winning team. We got to meet everybody. We got to like do our pitch video and stuff. It was really fun, good experience. I learnt a lot, and we did talk to the mayor. That was fun, and he liked our idea. So I can take that home with me. I'm happy with that.
I love that. That's really cute. Aww.
He's a cool guy. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait, yeah. So you don't know what you want to do as a business?
Yeah. So, well, I know it wants to be in the tech space because that's something I've always been really good with, like computers, and I'm interested in artificial intelligence, like virtual reality, cryptocurrency, all those like new things
you're really interested
that people
in.
Trying to like
That's
commercialize. Yeah, well, I just have an affinity with technology. It's not like I have an actual business plan in place, but I know, when an idea comes to me of like, hey, this is a need that I can solve with. Yeah, I have a few ideas. I usually like plot them out and see if it's feasible. Like, I don't do full market research, but I'll write down my idea, and if I realize that it's not going to work, or somebody's already done it, or somebody's already done it better, then I drop it. But I do have ideas, and I just think I'll be ready to pull the trigger when the time comes, when I'm like, this is actually something I think is feasible. It could be next year, it could be 10 years from now, I don't know.
You just don't know.
It doesn't matter. But that's the path I've put myself on. Yeah. And that's why I'm doing business management at uni, and computer science is my second major because I'm good with computers and do that in high school.
So you're doing business management as your second major?
No, business management is my first major. Computer science is my second major.
Oh, because I'm doing business management as well now.
You switched to... Oh, that's your second major?
Second one. First is enterprise, and then
do you get to do any electives with that? Or is that just your full degree, that's it?
No, I think you do.
You get a bit of space for other units? Yeah, that's good. I don't have any space for other units. Like, I've actually got to do 2 semesters where I take 5 units, because I'm packed now. Because I didn't know that I wanted to do that in the first semester. But it's alright, it's easy. And that's the thing is, a lot of, like, a first year uni units kind of feel like a waste of money and time. But
sorry.
It's but it's not. Even though it's like really easy for me right now, it's building the base, and then next year I'm sure I'll be like really challenged. I'll be glad that I did the first year units.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing actually with like entrepreneurship. University degrees get a really bad rap these days. People say they're not worth it, like waste of time, waste of money.
Oh yeah, they
you should just
really
do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a bit different in Australia because we have like HEX help loans and stuff for domestic students. Sucks to be international. I know some international students I have as friends that like have to pay full money for their degrees, and they have to pay as it comes instead of later.
It's crazy.
But with the HEX help loans in Australia, and I don't have a business idea today, so uni's a great way to build my skills and become more employable, and then you have a bit of a backup plan. It's like I will get a job that I don't hate if I'm not working for myself.
Exactly.
Yeah. But like you and me, I feel like we always have wanted to at least the way you talked about it, want to work for ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
Want to employ other people, do our own
To
thing.
do the thing, yeah.
Because I hate authority. I don't like listening to people tell me what to do when I think I have a better idea, and that's actually a bad thing and a good thing at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a weakness and a strength.
It depends on the situation, really.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I've always been really like frustrating, like even for my parents. I was never like I'd never act out. It's just I was like a good kid, but if I had an idea that conflicted with somebody else's and they wouldn't listen to me, like I would argue with my teachers frequently. It's like, no, you did this wrong, or this is wrong. You should blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And that's obviously like really annoying to have to deal with when you're dealing with a kid. But now that I'm growing up, I'm realizing that all the like big leaders in the world, not just in tech but just in business, are people who want their own way and don't take no for an answer.
That's true.
So there's a positive side to, there's a good side to every coin.
That's very true.
Yeah.
See, the mindset you have is just too good. You're just naturally
that's the thing.
into it.
There's different types of mindsets, and mine happens to be a double-edged sword. But I like who I am because, for better or for worse, we're the person we are, and you need to not be scared of change, but you also don't want to like just throw away every aspiration you have just because somebody else is telling you it's not feasible. So,
Right.
that's the only thing I really wanted to do, and I still don't know exactly where it is, but I know I want to start a business, I want to work for myself, I want to employ people, and I want to build something that like makes the world a place that I'm excited to live in, make tomorrow better than today is.
That is, wow. That's really good. Oh,
Yeah.
you're too good.
I don't know if this is making any sense.
No,
but
it is. Like,
this is probably just all that typical nonsense here, like make the world a better place.
No, but
And
like
I'm just like a
in
18-year-old
general,
uni kid sitting now.
having to make a business, it is mainly about you wanting to resolve something and make the world a better place, which is good that you already know this.
Yeah.
But like, I think you have 100% the potential to actually get to that extent and figure something out. Because I think anytime soon, maybe like in about a year or so, you're gonna figure something really big, and you're gonna, oh hell yeah, like
Yeah.
But
It's not something that will just come to me. It's not something. I think everybody has the potential. It's just you need to realize a problem in your life, and then develop a solution. You don't just develop a solution. Like the amount of cool things anyone could build is infinite, but it's more about does this actually address a need for people, and that's when I'm going to pull the trigger. Is when I'm like, you know what, this is a real problem. Nobody else has solved it, at least not well.
Yeah.
I can do it better or first, and there you go.
Or to make it easier for people as
Exactly.
well. Like, I figured something out for one of my units. He was like, you have to do this for your assignment, but it doesn't have to be something intense. But then for some reason, some really genius idea came in my head. I'm not going to say it on here because I'm too scared to let it out. And then someone's like, oh
Somebody
my
steals
gosh,
it, like me.
But
I'm not above that.
no, because it's about like mechanics and stuff. I have no clue to do with it. But I found like an idea to make everyone's life so much easier. And then I was like, why is this not actually a thing? Because it's kind of like, I was on TikTok not that long ago, but like there's this guy who made an app to help figure out what you're doing wrong in the gym with your form. Like they would literally like have things that would show where exactly, like, and they will figure out your body and everything. And I'm like, that's so crazy that technology's gone to that extent, that they can literally figure out what you're doing wrong with your own body, So then I'm like, well, then why don't they do that with a lot of other things that we have problems with? And then that was one of the things, like you can probably put two to two together, like mechanics and, AI.
Absolutely.
So then put that together, big brain moment.
Big brain moment. Yeah.
So that's exactly it.
Well, that's how a lot of startups begin, is just, oh well, this thing's been done here, but it could work really good here.
Exactly.
It's you don't. That's the thing with being like a business-minded person, is I always thought, I used to want to do this. I don't know if that's something I'm still interested in now. Is like, Elon Musk is working on Neuralink, which is like brain implants, and they like read your thoughts and control stuff with that.
Whoa.
And I always wanted to like combine that with virtual reality and make like the whole Ready Player One style world where you're like controlling the game with your mind.
But like, I think that's already a thing, though.
That is already a thing. That's people
crazy.
There's people. This is the point I was getting to, which is engineers are already. Every idea you could have, engineers are already starting to work on it. There'd be no way that someone like me could catch up. No. The best I could do is go work for one of those companies, which I honestly considered for a while. And then I was like, you know what? No, I need to devise my own solution to a problem. But the bigger point I was getting at there was, I wanted to I thought that if I wanted to get in that space, I would have to go do a mechatronics engineering degree or electrical engineering degree, build it myself. And I'm sort of realizing now is, for better or for worse, I do really think engineering is an important skill, but a lot of these big company founders don't have any of those skills. Obviously, I am going to have computer science skills, but whatever I build, I'm probably going to be, delegating it and employing other people to put it in place for me. I'll just supply the idea and the finance knowledge, I guess.
Oh yeah.
But that's something you need to accept, is you can't master everything.
That's true.
Jack of all trades, master of none. And I could never decide on what degree I wanted to do for the longest time. I thought I wanted to do creative writing for a while.
Wow.
And, engineering and computer science, and maybe not go to uni at all and work at, labourers jobs or something. I had no idea. No. And then I finally settled on business because it just gives me the most options, and I honestly think it's the best catalyst for change in the world a business degree.
Because I feel like engineers always that people have been studying, and there's a bunch of engineers, there's a bunch of doctors.
Yeah.
They're all competing with each other. But then with business, you can do something that's so different to everyone else. Your definition of a business can be so different compared to someone else's.
Yeah, exactly.
They can be a business, a candle, small business.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's what I want. But then other people could be no, I actually want to start a franchise and become a millionaire, you know? And that's what you have. And then it can probably millionaire, billionaire, who knows? It can be the next Elon Musk, because you're so into him, So
I have a bit of an obsession with Elon Musk.
It's really good though. I have no aspirations or inspirations. Oh, I have aspirations. Inspiration wise, I have no one. I don't actually look up to people, because I'm I want to look up to myself. Yeah. So that I don't Oprah Winfrey, I should look up to her, but I just don't know much about her, and I'm trying not to, because I'm I think I should look up to myself more and then not think of someone else. Yeah.
Oh, I think a good mindset to have is, you can look up to people, you can have inspirations. I'll use Elon Musk as an example for me, but don't be blind to their faults. Learn from their faults as much as you learn from what's great about them, because people like Elon Musk, I can list all these things of why I'm inspired by him, but then other people will say, oh, he's a bit weird and he thinks going to space is so important. I'm I understand those arguments, and I'm not blind to his faults. I learn from what makes him, I learn from his weaknesses as much as I learn from his strengths. And that's the same way you need to look at yourself.
Exactly.
Right, well, I have these strengths and I'm going to work with those, but also I'm not going to be blind to my weaknesses, exactly.
I have a lot of them, and that's the
Everybody has a lot of weaknesses.
My weaknesses are what you're good at. So then I have to train myself.
No, you have to find people that complement those weaknesses.
But that's hard. The thing is,
it is hard. That's why it's hard to start a business, though.
It is. So, with my enterprise course that I have going on now, or unit, we have to present something every week now. And the one thing I hate about things are presenting. And I hate it. I have the biggest anxiety attacks, and it's just not for me. So that's going to help me. And then that makes me think actually business at school is actually pretty good, because it does actually make you develop things that you do need for a business. But you're good at that. So
but I always liked getting up and presenting. I will admit that.
I don't know how.
I just like the spotlight on me. I'm happy to come here for the podcast. I had nothing to talk about. I just made it up,
Yeah, you're so good though. I loved how you told me I have a bunch of notes and stuff like that. And I'm that's the most amazing thing I've ever heard. Thank you.
I also wouldn't have set up the microphone and the laptop and booked out the library space. So
I did it mainly because I knew that it would be a track for you to come to my house. So then I was you know what, maybe
I'm lazy.
But you never know, maybe I should do this more often and just get people that I know of from uni and be yo, let's do the podcast today. Let's do it. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
done, finished.
Well, as long as people are happy to hear from them, then.
Oh
doesn't
yeah.
matter.
I don't like no one I know of knows you. So like, well, other than your friends, like no one knows you.
Yeah.
But I really hope that like the people that actually somewhat listen to the podcast, they would actually genuinely like you at the end.
I actually
because of
need friends. Like I have no friends
You
that's moving
have
up
quite
here.
a lot of friends.
I need more friends.
You need
okay?
more friends, but you have a lot yourself. Gotcha.
Exactly.
I need new friends. I
Yeah.
have like the same people that I've had for years, and I feel like I need
Yeah.
to expand myself a little bit more with that.
Oh, well, if you got a good network, then I just see. It's actually a good thing that I moved up here and I've had to meet new people all over again because I'm kind of filtering out. This sounds bad, but I'm like filtering out the trash in my network and bringing in like all the good people are still here because they've come up with me.
Yeah.
But then all the people that I didn't really talk to and didn't really, have any affinity with, I'm like replacing. It sounds so messed up, but this is how you got to think. If you want to make a business, you got to build a strong network.
That's true.
That's what they hammered in at JIC is like how to use LinkedIn and how to like find people.
Have you been
And
doing
don't add
that?
everyone. Yeah, I have.
So you've been finding people. Like, what have you been trying to do for LinkedIn then?
Well, just there's a lot of like even uni events on people plug their LinkedIn all the time. I've been trying to find people in similar spaces to me. So I've met people that own like quite big businesses. There's this business called Cirrus 8, which is like property management in the cloud. I met Steve at a conference here at UWA a few weeks ago, and he was talking to me. He gave me his business card. And I'm like, you know what? In 2 years' time, if I'm coming out of uni and I've actually got a CS background now, and he's really into, he really, agreed with a lot of my perspectives on business, there's a potential internship or job or something.
Yeah.
So it's like giving myself options by connecting with the right people.
That's really good.
Yeah.
As you should.
Well, everybody should, and I think the faster you do that,
The better it is.
well, the more opportunities are just going to naturally come to you.
That's very
Like
true.
people are just going to suggest things, or you're going to have an idea. It's like, I might do this, and that's why like you reaching out for me to the podcast. It's like maybe I am, such a great member of the podcast that I just take it over and it just becomes.
Really though. No, but
But actually, on that like presentational speaking thing, if you're putting yourself out there and doing a podcast, that's the best way to build the skill.
I know, because
I always liked doing it, but I was never great at it. Like I went to a sort of like presentational like speaking course up in Perth here when I was still living in Esperance. I did this when I was like 12 or something.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was fun and I liked it and I got better at it.
That's so good. No, but yeah, that's the main reason why I did the podcast to begin with, because my English is just so trash sometimes. Well, most of the time, like 90% of the time.
Yeah.
And
no, it's really hard having a vocabulary that actually on the podcast.
Exactly. So then when I started telling people like, oh, maybe I should just do a podcast, they're like, oh yeah, I think you would do well in it. But then I'm like to myself, I am so bad with talking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is bad and it's going to go out bad. But then at the same time, I'm like, it would probably be a good way for me to actually better myself in that realm. So then I know I have to fix it, and it's like a little practice way.
Yeah, no, you just get better and better. And like all the big podcasts, like even Joe Rogan, when he started out, he wasn't that good at it. He wasn't good at interviewing. He wasn't good at, speaking to people. He was always pretty intelligent. But you watch his first episodes of his podcast compared to the ones now, it's a great way to build those skills. And it's not like, obviously it's going to get better with time, but it's not like it sucks.
Yeah.
At least,
True.
it's kind of entertaining. It just needs polishing. As with anything in life, it's like, you're never just going to start something or start making something and it's perfect all the way.
That's true.
That's the thing with business is the idea of a minimum viable product.
Yeah.
You build something you're not proud of, put it out there, start collecting customer feedback before it's done.
That's true.
And, that's how any piece of software is developed. They don't fully, there's betas for everything.
Really true.
You got to have a beta for every game plan you have in life. You can't just try and be a perfectionist and
every time, because it's not going to go anywhere in that sense.
Because that's how you learn is failure.
Exactly, because that's exactly what I'm getting taught in my course as well. Like the same exact thing. They're telling us about how if you invent something, that's just the part of innovation. You do not expect yourself to get it perfect right on top, but then you would have to innovate and get yourself to slowly get to the extent that it can be. Like, you never know, like something new can come up and then you'll be like, oh my god, that would be so good with it, and then more things keep happening and then you would have never thought about them in the past.
And you can always pivot. Even if you start building something and you realize, oh, hang on, this would actually work better this way or here or whatever, you can just pivot your idea, and you've probably already put in place a lot of the things you need to, make that change.
Like with Apple as well,
exactly.
From the little iPhone 4s to what you now have and what I have now.
iPhone mini.
It's so small.
Great. It's a fantastic phone. I'm not sponsored, but
just putting it in there, sure.
What else can I plug? Red Bull.
Oh
sponsored.
No, I don't sponsored. I freaking wish. Imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, and you wanted to talk about self-development, I think.
Yeah. So basically, well, I always tell people this story, and I don't know if it's entirely true. Well, what?
Do I know it? No, it's a story.
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Well, now you will. So I seem to have forgotten. I know it's just selective memory, but I feel like I became more self-aware when I turned 14. I just realized. I just suddenly realized, hey, I'm like a person. I'm an autonomous person. I have my own goals and stuff. And I was overweight, and I was I'm very unhappy. I won't use the word depressed because that's a real thing. And I was just sad. There's a difference between being sad and depressed.
Yeah.
And I hate when people conflate those terms. But,
fair.
And I realized I was pretty socially awkward, and I didn't feel that good about myself. I had very low self-esteem. And since then, I've just always tried. It's kind of like a 1% better approach. The book Atomic Habits is really good. I don't know if you've heard that. You should listen to it. It's really good. And it kind of talks about you don't need drastic improvements about yourself. You just need to be 1% better than you were yesterday, today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of that a lot. Yeah.
So just even going to the gym.
Big gains.
Big gain. I'm wearing a jacket.
Do you still go to the gym?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I took a break for 2 weeks.
Oh,
But you
2
should.
weeks. Oh.
Don't take a break. Don't take a break. Because you need to be disciplined. Even just doing something every day, even if it's not a big deal, if you don't want to do it and you do it anyway, that's where you're making real progress. The great days I have where I get up at 5 a.m, meditate, have a shower, go gym, get back, get all my uni work out of the way before 12, and then the rest of the day can be spent doing productive stuff, and then I can relax at the end of the night. That's a great day, but that's not where I make self-development. Self-development is where you're having a bad day, you don't feel like you want to do anything, but you do it anyway. You're like, I can't be bothered going to the gym today.
That's crazy.
And you do it anyway. That's where you make progress.
I love going to the gym though. I really want to go to the gym, but I have no time because I work. You're so lucky you don't work.
Well, yeah.
I freaking hate it. It just annoys me so much.
Well, it won't be like that forever, but.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying for now because it's so.
Well, what time do you wake up?
Whenever I do.
Well, that's the thing is you tell yourself. You got to identify as a person that goes to the gym, because I'm a person that goes to the gym, and I tell myself that every day. That forces me. All right, I don't have time, even though I don't have a job. It's harder for you than it is for me. But it's not like I can just go whenever I want. I have to get up early to go before uni. Even if I have time later on during the day, that doesn't matter. I tell myself that I have to go before uni because I know that at some point I'm going to have a job, and I don't want an excuse to get in the way of going to the gym. It's more important to me that I get there. And it's not like I always. This is just the mindset you need to be in. I don't always stick to it. Sometimes I fail, but those are the days where you make progress.
That's true. Sometimes I'll think the same way as well. I'm like, I really need to make sure that I go to the gym today. This is that. But I don't do it in the morning. I'm like, I'll do it at night, but then now I'm not allowed to go at night because my mum doesn't want me going at night. But
but there's all those roadblocks for you, right?
There is, because I have this podcast, and I also have work, and then I have the gym, and I have uni, and all this trash, and I'm like, this is just so much I don't know how I ended up having high distinctions last semester. I honestly...
That's impressive. Wait, did you get more than one?
I got all 4 of them, HDs. And I was like looking at the thing like, how in the world did I end up getting 4 HDs and all of that when I was struggling with the gym and at work and on top of that doing
There you go.
And I was like, okay, well at least that's good. But they were easy subjects. So you know, like MGMT. That was pretty easy. Yeah. How did you go in it anyway?
Well, I only got a distinction, so that must be impressive. I mean, I did no study. Well, that's one of the things you were saying before, is that you were calling me really intelligent. But
you are.
I don't study. I can't study.
You're smart regardless. Well, I call it English, but never mind. But like, you're smart regardless. Like, I remember one time you pissed me off because I think we had that essay for that unit, and then I was like, oh yeah, I only got like an 86, and you're like, oh damn, I got the same as well. And I'm like, yeah, but you did it 3 days before the stupid due date. I did it 2 weeks before.
Yeah, I have to admit, I actually did lie to you. I didn't do it 3 days before the due date. I did it as an all-nighter before it was due.
Yeah, you told me that. I thought you meant like you were going to tell me like you did take a long time to do it, and I was like, wow. But still, the fact that you got an 86 and then I could never do it the night before, it would never be that good. And I'm just like, how did you end up doing that? You're just built different. Yeah,
but it comes back to bite you though, because sometimes I can't commit to like. There's going to be times when we're out of uni or even later on in uni where I need to there's work that needs to be done. Yeah. It doesn't matter how smart I am. It's a matter of completing it. So just because I actually think it goes back to what we were saying before. I think it's a weakness as much as it is a strength, because you may not be as like naturally gifted, but you're really good at applying yourself to a task because you know you need to.
That's true.
But that means you get work done.
Yeah, I get work done, but then the fact that you can easily do it in a second because you're just naturally good at it, that pisses me off.
It might piss you off, but don't take it as such a bad thing, because when it gets to the real world, because you're so just good at it because you're so experienced or whatever, and you're brought up that way. Like I'm good at trying for things, and when I put my head into it, I will do good in it. But like that's because I know I have to, because of the brain that I have. I have to put more effort, more than everyone else, because I need to. But you don't. Yeah. So then you can just do it in a second without like struggling whatsoever. Whereas I have to struggle. But I also think when it comes to like specifically, if you were to start a business, you would know how to just say, I've got to do this. This is what I got to work on, and just start knocking it out of the way. Whereas me, I might procrastinate for ages and be like, good enough.
That's me.
I know how to do it. Yeah, I mean that's everybody at uni, but
it's really bad. Yeah. This semester is just going to be the complete opposite of what last semester was.
No, you got this. But
bold statement there.
But no, that's the whole thing with self-development, is just slowly improving, you know, what's bad and what's good about you. And I guess looping back to, you know, me being a young boy, I was like, I've got all these aspirations, and how can I get there, you know? And you can't be afraid of change. No. That's the main thing
that we've learned as well in that management class.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of change.
Organizational change. Don't be stuck in your ways.
Yes.
I mean, it was a very theoretical unit, but there's some good parts about it.
It was. I liked the end. I liked Alistair. He was so.
Yeah, he was cool.
He was really.
I only showed up to 4 labs, but he was cool.
But then at the same time, I feel like he would have gotten probably a HD because of you not participating. If
you
did participate.
But it's not. But that's the thing for me is high school. I cared about my grades. Uni, I care about what I'm learning. If I'm learning, I know it sounds dumb. I still got a good GPA, but if I know the stuff that I need to learn in my units, I'm happy. Yeah. I don't care what grade I get at the end, because I'm not doing this for the grade, I'm doing this for the knowledge. And if I can't justify, you know, like the unit I'm doing on Java programming right now, honestly, if I had the option, I would just go for the higher level one. I can't, because it is a prerequisite, but it's so easy because I know it all already.
I wish.
You know?
Like, I have to do accounting again because I don't need to do it. I'm doing it as a selective, but I want to do it purely because I want to do taxation, and it's a prerequisite for it. Yeah. So then I'm currently dying because this accounting unit's really hard. Yeah. Like, it's intense, and I'm so bad at accounting.
Yeah. I did a finance unit last semester, which I found quite challenging. There's a lot of math.
It's a lot of math. Yeah. And we have to do like balance sheets and financial statements and all this stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
same. There's so many like words that you don't know the meaning of, and they're all like different, but they all sound the same.
They are, and then it just really ticks your head, and I'm like, why? Because they would explain so many things. I'm like, I know the word, I don't know what it does.
Yeah.
But I would figure it
I'll figure it out. Yeah.
It's just so hard, but no, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Hopefully. And then what else did you want to talk about? So you did use. I can't believe that you used to be like that before. I was surprised.
No, like I should have brought a picture of myself. That would have been great. I have this picture of me. I was just like this chubby kid. Like my face was round. And only when I look back do I realize how much I've actually changed, because it was incremental, right? I was only a little bit different yesterday than I was today. Like I used to just come home, eat donuts, chips, and chocolate, and just like icy poles, and just binge on everything, and just play, not do any homework. I still had straight A's. Not do any homework. I would just play League of Legends for like 8 hours every night.
For that reason.
And no, but I hated my life though. That's the thing. It sucked.
But still.
But you know. No, it's not a good, because when you hold yourself in such like contempt, it eats away at you. And only when you do things like, even like eating lunch today, I was like, oh, there's that sausage roll looks really good. You know what?
That's me.
I don't need that.
Yeah,
so,
but still, I would have been like, you know what? I go to the gym, it should be fine. Even though that's a really bad.
That's the opposite, because it's 70% diet, 30%.
What you do at the gym. I know.
You need both.
It's really bad.
Eating,
I got Tim Tams and Ferreros for my birthday yesterday. And
well, birthday's a different story.
I know, but like, I don't want to get rid of them, because I'm like, well, it was a birthday gift, but like, just me eating them, I'm like, oh my god. I had 2 Tim Tams this morning. I was like,
is that your breakfast?
It was literally my breakfast.
It's just about self-control. Like, you don't have to, like, chocolate is not bad for you. Too much chocolate is bad for you.
Yeah.
You know?
There you go.
If you had a square a day, if you had like 4 bits of chocolate a day, it wouldn't do anything to your body. And you just gotta like, I used to count my calories and stuff.
Oh, you're one of those people.
No, I'm not anymore.
You were.
I was, yeah. But then I realised, like, if you just have a general idea of like how much you'd be eating of everything,
then that's good enough. Yeah. I need to be more cautious about what I'm intaking, but you know what, it's fine. I
think at this age we have. It's weird because we have like room to, if you want to be destructive to your body, this age is the best time to do it. But at the same time, my opinion is you got to set yourself up with good life practices now, so that they're a habit later on in life. Yeah. I guess. You're
so wise with words.
My mum always told me. Yeah, my mum always told me. I'm like running out of words now that she's said that I've said a lot of wise things, but I feel like I'm just talking out of my rear half the time, and it tends to like impress people.
No, but still, like it is really impressive. But I think you still stay by it though.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, I believe what I said.
Yeah.
It's just whether or not it turns out to be right is a different thing.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I actually had a quote. Sorry, if I can
he had a really nice quote. I don't know what it is, but any quote's probably really good.
Oh yeah. So a quote from Elon Musk that like I really identify with is, and I think this is gonna sound messed up, but based on like the way you think of yourself, this is really gonna apply to you as much as me. Mm-hmm. It's possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. So actually, it's not about. This is how I interpret it is. It doesn't matter, you know, who you are now or who you think you are, like where you belong in the world. Yeah. You got to choose to make something great, and that's why I want to do business. It's like I'm not fantastic at anything. Some people tell me I am, but my opinion is that I'm not. But it doesn't matter as long as I apply myself. And like how I've kind of adapted this into like my own quote, which goes back to what we were saying way at the start, which is like, you know, I'm young, we're young, which means we don't actually have that much to offer the world, frankly, right now. That's why we're going to uni, to like pick up skills so I can present that to the world. But that also means like you have unlimited potential to do what you want to do in life. I could go anywhere from here. You know, it's kind of like I've got nothing to lose. You only nowhere but up, right? Now I probably will lose many times along the way, but I'm starting from ground zero. So it's like how much, you know, we're kind of already at rock bottom. You know, it sounds pessimistic, but it's not, because the way I say it is like the difference between people who achieve great things and those who don't is whether or not you chase your goals, because everyone has the potential to live up to their potential, if that makes sense. It's just whether or not you actually realize it. And that's one thing I've always been afraid of, is like, that's my biggest fear in life, is staying where I am, being like average, being the status quo, just blending into society.
Yeah.
To some people it sounds kind of like, I don't know what the word would be, egotistical. There's probably a better word for that, but just really self-absorbed, to be like, I don't want to be an average member of society. But I don't think anyone wants to be an average member of society. I think everyone wants to be the best version of themselves. Yeah. And what I'm most afraid of is not failure or time or change. It's being the person I am today forever and making no progress. I don't hate myself, but you know, you've always got to be looking to improve. So that's the main thing. Is it sounds really pessimistic, but it's not, trust me. It's a positive mindset to have, of like, there's always something we can be better at, and we're going to be more pleased with ourselves if we work towards that. Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah. So that's kind of my like take on that quote. Yeah.
Wow. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. Definitely didn't write that down beforehand. So yeah.
Okay, I think we should wrap it up though, because it's 46 minutes in. For sure. But thank you, honestly, so much. That was amazing. Everything you said was absolutely lovely.
I know.
Thank you.
But that's how you relieve the tension of like, I'm not good at taking compliments, so I'm really up myself all the time.
You're alright. You're good at taking compliments. There are some people that are like,
Make it awkward. Yeah.
No, but thank you. That was really good.
It's great to be on here. Thank you everyone for like letting me speak.
No, I hope you guys learned. Oh yeah, I hope you guys learned a lot about this. Like, I learned a lot from you today. Like, a lot. It made me realize I need to.
I think I said that much.
No, you said a lot. I'm probably going to go through this often myself, actually, and I'm going to try and listen to you more often, because I need to get my mindset the same way you are, and that's really good.
Yeah, this is actually something. This isn't like officially happening yet or anything, but I've started in the works. It's not a podcast like this, but I'm going to do kind of a vlog style YouTube channel where I put my thoughts out there. So like, just, you know. It's going to be boring, but it's mainly just for me. But hopefully, eventually, I'll like start making the videos better and stuff. I just want to like put my ideas out there, you know.
Okay. Well, no, that sounds amazing though. I would definitely subscribe to that.
Yeah.
In general, guys, you need to check this kid out, and especially when he's got his song soon. That's going to be released in 2 weeks. I'm actually kind of excited.
I don't wouldn't be excited if I were you guys, but
I will.
Please check it out.
Yes, I'll put the last song that you put on in the description, and then I'll put his Instagram in there as well, because why not? But yeah, 100%. Such a great talk.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thanks
again.
for having me, Pascal.
No worries. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you so much. See ya.